Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our session today, Exploring Mesh WebSlates. My name is Anna. I'm an event planner for Reactor, joining you from Redmond, Washington. Before we start, I have some quick housekeeping. Please take a moment to review our code of conduct. We seek to provide a respectful environment for both our audience and presenters. And while we absolutely encourage engagement in the chat, we ask that you please keep mindful of your commentary, remain professional, and on topic. Keep an eye on that chat. We'll be dropping helpful links and answering questions throughout. We'll also have time for questions at the end of our session. This session is recorded and will be available to be viewed on demand in 24 to 48 hours, which brings us to today's speakers. So excited to have you both today. Thank you for joining us. This is Samira and Sean. Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Sean Carawala. I'm a product manager on the Mesh team. I'm accompanied here by Samira.
Hello, I'm a software engineer on the Mesh team.
And we are so excited to share with you today a little bit about web content in Microsoft Mesh. So today is all about an introduction and a demo for web content in immersive 3D experiences. Let's start with a little bit of information about what Microsoft Mesh is. Our vision for Microsoft Mesh is to make collaboration more effective, more natural, and in flexible work environments that aren't bound by physical locations. It makes collaboration more inclusive and equitable, and by reducing travel, it also saves costs and reduces carbon impact. Microsoft Mesh can be seen kind of in two different ways. Number one, we have a way for you to elevate your Microsoft Teams experience, which includes avatars in Microsoft Teams, as well as immersive spaces in Microsoft Teams. And then we have the Microsoft Mesh application. And the Microsoft Mesh application enables you to create your own virtual experiences, such as events within the Mesh app, usable on PC and Quest. And with these experiences, you'll see more spatial interaction, co-presence, and immersion across your organization. We've seen customers create some really amazing things with Microsoft Mesh. And scenario-wise, we've seen people use it for all-hands meetings, new employee onboarding, and really any business scenario that they imagine being able to take into the virtual world, create 3D models for, and then have avatars interact and communicate with each other to achieve that new level of connection. Now, when we think about Microsoft Mesh, we have three different or three synergized offerings. Number one is our portal and application. So you can create events within the Mesh portal. You can deploy them to the Mesh application. Now, within the Mesh application, you can use our experience tools, which are no-code tools that event organizers can leverage to lead participants through staged managed experiences. This really enables storytelling for your business scenario. And then we have our developer tools. The Microsoft Mesh Toolkit offers a way for you to increase interactivity and customization in new and exciting ways. So let's get a little bit deeper into the Mesh developer tools. So the Mesh Toolkit provides a collection of packages for Unity that enables you to develop rich interactive worlds for use in Mesh on PC and Quest. Some of you may have or envision 3D content that you want to turn into an experience, and the Mesh Toolkit helps amplify that with this collection of packages that can be used in Unity. Now, these custom experiences can include displaying and interacting with live web content, such as dashboards and web apps, which is what we're getting into today, interaction with objects through game-like physics, scripted interactivity by inserting logic, integration with live backend data and connecting triggers to actions, and graphics and performance tools to bring all these tools together to make sure that the experiences work well on the devices that you deploy them to. One thing that really excites me a lot about the ability, like the Mesh Toolkit in general, is this idea of building the space of your dreams, adding on-brand content, adding information to showcase ideas and products, and then using our experience tools to show that to audiences of all sizes. So what does that look like in the context of web content? Well, we all know that the web provides a powerful set of APIs, and we really just help you expose those within Mesh. The web is an endless software ecosystem in which many of us have built our lives. And for many years, JavaScript has been a leading programming language. So when we think about extensibility in Mesh, WebView made a ton of sense to bring those daily apps and experiences to your users, giving you all the benefits of avatar navigation, input, audio, and more that users get out of the box. So within the Mesh Toolkit, we offer the WebSlate component. And the WebSlate component is powered by WebView technologies. You can see here on the slide some of the wonderful scenarios that people have used this for. We often are using this internally as well. So you have real-time information panels, collaborative web apps, and even just adding static art to decorate the space. Getting a little bit deeper into the scenarios for using web content and Mesh. The potential use cases are endless since we're talking about the web, and I really look forward to hearing everyone's ideas for things that they imagine. On Samir and I's team, we have our weekly Friday chill out meetings and even ran a live stream event for the Ignite conference, which many people seem to love. We've seen our partners use this to surface critical information, interactive exhibits, games, and like I said, beautify environments with the content that they use every day within their business. So now I'll hand it over to Samira to talk about features, architecture, and give a demo of WebSlates, followed by an inclusive Q&A with all of you. So thank you so much. And thanks, Samira. Take it away.
Thank you, Sean. All right. Do we have the next slide? Okay, thank you. All right, so when you take advantage of Mesh Toolkit's WebSlates, you're quickly enabled to being able to show web content to your end users. And as you'll see later from our demo, you can quickly drop the prefab into your hierarchy and specify the URL that you would like your WebSlate to display. Interaction with your web content also comes built in when you use this prefab. And that means that users can click and interact with your web content. The same is true for audio, which also comes built in. And this unlocks the ability for viewing rich media content and videos for free within Mesh. Our toolkit also comes with what's called a content performance analyzer tool, which is an analysis tool that you can run at authoring time for your environment. WebSlates have been integrated into this tool in order to provide you with a high-level analysis of WebSlate render times in the context of Unity's render pipeline. And of course, we want you to have a secure experience. So navigation to unintended sites is restricted. The WebSlate prefab gives you the option to specify an allow list of domains. And navigation is restricted to secure HTTPS sites only. On top of these functional features, we also provide you with a way of customizing the look of your web content, and that includes being able to control the brightness level of your web content and providing some framing options. So as you'll see later in the demo, once you've placed your WebSlate in your environment, you can quickly test it out in play mode in the Unity editor. And if you want to change the content of what you're displaying, you can also quickly do that at runtime, which makes for a faster testing loop. And finally, WebSlates have also been integrated into Mesh Toolkit's visual scripting and cloud scripting features. This unlocks another level of dynamic capabilities that allows you to programmatically control and synchronize your web content across multiple clients. A simple example of this would be to handle a button click event and trigger a change in the WebSlate URL. And next, I'll quickly review how WebSlates function under the hood. The WebSlate prefab takes advantage of a system's or a platform's WebView 2 component, WebView component rather. So on Windows, that would be the WebView 2 component, and on Quest, that's the Android system WebView. So the WebView component is what facilitates the integration of web content within native applications and acts like an embedded browser, allowing developers to display web pages from a URI or directly showing HTML content in their native applications. So at the native layer, web view content that is rendered to a web view, to a window or surface is copied to a texture that Unity's mesh renderer can then render to a quad mesh in your Unity scene. Input events go the other way, coming from Mesh's cross-platform input solution at the Unity layer, and is then sent down to platform-specific web view, which enables you to click around your WebSlate. All right, I will next be showing you a demonstration of how you can quickly add a web view. So can you see my screen, Sean?
Yes.
Hopefully, okay. All right, so I've got two editors open here just because, just to save time, compile time on the Unity end, all right? One that's already playing, and then this one is the one I'll be working in. So here I've grabbed the online sample, the toy box sample, and I've already installed the Mesh Toolkit package. So you can see it up here in the menu. So in order to add a WebSlate, just right-click on the hierarchy, select Mesh Toolkit, and select WebSlate. So you've got two options. The first one will simply render your web content to a quad. This one provides you with a nicer look with a framed edges with rounded corners. So I'm going to go ahead and select this, drop it into my scene. Now I would like to select the URL that I'd like to display, and there you have it. And that's how I would add a WebSlate to my scene. So I've already gone ahead, so I'm going to delete this because I've already gone ahead and placed this one here that is set up to a link, and switching over to my other editor view that's already running. Here it is. Here's my WebSlate. All right, I can click around, and let me make sure it's selected here in the hierarchy so you can see. Okay, now I'm going to change the site. Okay, here we go. Now we have the Bing website. All right, so here we've got an example of a simple panel that you could place in your scene against a wall like this. Is a great use case. I had also placed a live stream of a live YouTube channel that's going on right now. It's like for a little Christmas video, a little Christmas live stream, countdown to Christmas. All right, I'm going to switch back to my editor view. Another way that you can use WebSlates in your environment is with the visual scripting feature. So here I've got a visual scripting. I've got a game object and an empty node here with a WebSlate as one of the children, and I've created a basic scene graph here. Found the WebSlate child, and now I would like to control my WebSlate content programmatically. So visual scripting is one way that you can do that. And as you'll see, another advantage of using visual scripting here is that it exposes what is essentially the navigate to string API under the hood, which is the WebView API under the hood. So if you look for load HTML, you come up with these two options. One is you can input a string content, and the other one is a text asset. So I will go ahead and choose the text asset. It's just a little bit easier, a little bit faster to set up here, and connect the flow points here. All right, and I've already I've already gone ahead and found, so on codepen.io, I've already gone ahead and found some HTML animation that shows the falling green codes that we all know from the Matrix movie. All right, and I've already copy that to a text file, and it's in my scene. So it's in my project here. So let's go find it. Matrix wall. Select it. All right, there we have it. And I've got a very simple visual script now that will load my matrix wall. All right, I'm going to switch over to the other editor window, and this is the one over here on my right. Visual scripting here. Okay, that's the node.
That one is so cool. I love how you can add multiple web slates to one given experience, and I'm super excited to see what this looks like in the Mesh app too.
Yes, yeah, it definitely adds a lot of, the ability to add some more dynamic, rich content to your page. So you can imagine if you wanted to create a dynamic report, then you can, this is an option as well. And finally, I will go over to showing you how you can add, how you can use WebSlates with cloud scripting. So, so this is another way that you can programmatically control your web content. And if you have a more complex scenario, then cloud scripting could be a great option. So here I'm going to go into Mesh Toolkit and just click Set up Cloud Scripting. There we go. And I'm going to add a WebSlate to it. All right. Add my button that I've already set up here. Make sure it's enabled. Okay. So, all right. So that's just really quickly wanted to run through how you would set that up, and then you can open your application folder and then program the app the way you would like. So I've done this in advance here. So I'm going to open up my Visual Studio, and I've just programmed my cloud script to really simply iterate through some URLs that I've predefined when I click the button. All right. So, all right, I'm switching back to this duplicate project that is already running, and I've already placed my cloud script. Where is it? Let me go find it. Cloud script. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to head over here. Okay. Click. All right. So there we go. So now I can programmatically, change the URL when I click the button. And the key point is that this is going to be synchronized across all clients, across everybody that is in my scene. So
this one is super cool because, like, when we think about making spaces, more exciting and adding activities, you could almost add like a little arcade machine, like display that has multiple links wired to it, and you could switch between those and have several web app experiences all from within that 3D space. And of course, you get the beautiful view in the background too.
Yes, yeah, agree. This is just another way that gives you a lot of control and ability to create some dynamic content here. So yeah, so this is how you can use a quick overview, quick demo of how you can integrate WebSlates into your environment. So why don't we switch over to, I've already published my environment to be accessible through Mesh, and I see that Sean is already here. Hello.
Yep. Hello. Super cool. So yeah, walking around here, it's great. So essentially, using the Mesh Uploader tool, available in Unity, Samira has uploaded this environment. Now, sort of answering one of the questions that we saw in the chat, we have Teams Premium licenses that enable us to actually go into this experience. But creating for Mesh, meaning using the Mesh Toolkit within Unity, adding your environment, adding all the components of the Mesh Toolkit itself is something that you could do without a Teams Premium license. But now we're here in the Mesh app. Could be on PC, could be in VR. We can click on this live stream here. It's great. We have the holiday themed one. I love this. So where you want? Well, I guess you have this already playing. Maybe we can walk over to like this one right here, this Statista dashboard. This one I'm a huge fan of because it really enables people to have meaningful discussions around data within Mesh. As I mentioned, here for the scripting use case, you could have like an arcade-like machine and excite your users that way. But then going into this other room, I imagine, there's there are a lot of different possibilities for this, but in this case, you added some awesome art, which is super exciting.
An art gallery over here, but this is all web content.
Yeah, that's fascinating. So maybe an interesting way to share some AI generated art.
Yeah, that's true.
Awesome. So yeah, and then of course the Microsoft site over here. I'm just right behind you.
Sure, okay.
Yeah, I'm jumping around, but like this one is awesome too because being able to scroll through it, click through the site, but all within a secure fashion, I think is a huge value proposition here on WebSlate. So like I imagine I'm in a new employee orientation. I should have already read up and studied the company's values, but hey, like a reminder doesn't hurt here, to read up, and I love that. So thank you so much for putting this together. And then of course over here with your offline HTML content. I mean, this is crazy. This is just like a nice aesthetic improvement for the environment. And all of this you added to what you mentioned earlier, the toy box sample, right?
That's right, yeah.
Which is all available on GitHub. Anyone can use it. So that's great. Thank you, Samira.
Thank you.
So let me give you a little emoji here. All right. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Well, why don't we transition over to the Q&A portion?
All right.
Let me share my screen. Let's see here. There it is. So awesome. Thank you all so much for asking lots of great questions. I saw someone had asked if the toolkit is free or has any cost. I think I touched on that a second ago. The idea is that the Mesh Toolkit is free to use. Uploading your environment and actually using it within Mesh will work with a Teams Premium license. I saw that someone had asked about scripting, Samira. Maybe you want to take this question. They said, may we script scoping per game player for a WebSlate?
Per app. Yeah, we can do that per app, like per game. I think if I understand the question correctly, using cloud scripting and visual scripting, and then it becomes a shared experience of the WebSlate between users for all the users that are in that experience.
Yeah, leveraging cloud scripting and visual scripting. Cloud scripting being something that you sort of have to set up a little bit in Azure, and visual scripting something you can do locally within Unity, right?
Right.
So moving on, the next question that we saw was, can I port an existing Unity experience into Mesh? Great question. Yes, you can use existing Unity projects within Mesh. So we have documentation on aka.ms/mesh docs for details on how you can get started, and also some of the sort of allowances and limitations that come with that. Let's see here. What other questions do we have? Someone mentioned if there is a certification program to prove competency with the tools and provide clients with proof points? This is a great question. I think the way that I answer this is that, right now we have the Mesh documentation, not necessarily a certification program, absolutely something that we're thinking about. And then when we think about, proof points for clients, if you visit our marketing website, mesh.com, I think there's a lot of great information there. And you can expect that in the near future, we'll be providing a lot more information that can help you get certified and sort of prove to clients certain degrees of competency. Moving on, I see someone had asked, will Unreal Engine be supported? At this point in time, I don't have a specific answer for that question, but feel free to keep an eye out with any updates that we might provide in the future. Samira, I got one that I wanted to see if you could answer. It's, is it possible that YouTube will disable streaming via your tool?
Disable streaming. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't you can control the YouTube streaming link on your end, but as far as what YouTube might do, I'm not, of course I don't know if they'll take any action on their end.
Yeah. And yeah, so I mean, from our perspective and in our experience, like we've had some very real-time, like low latency live stream Mesh events, and they've all gone super well. The other thing that worked really well for us was using like a URL redirection service. So like Samira will, add the WebSlate into the event, and then she'll add like an aka.ms link to the WebSlate, and then that enables anyone who is not actually going into Unity to go and update that link. I found that to be a really exciting way to have someone like who's on the development side empower perhaps non-technical people who are helping out with Mesh events to update content. So that was super cool. And also a great question. Let's see here. This one is another great one. So someone had mentioned, how about documents that are not publicly available? Would everyone in the session need to sign in with their Microsoft account? So at this point in time, single sign-on is not something that is supported, but you can manually authenticate into specific experiences. I encourage everyone to give it a try. In the future, we will provide updates on single sign-on working for specific applications that have kind of your private data. But meanwhile, we're just keeping everyone's security in mind as we consider different solutions for this.
We have another question. Can each user see a distinct WebSlate, meaning that it's not shared? So yeah, so if you are adding a WebSlate not through cloud, not through a scripting, then that's correct. It's a distinct WebSlate and your experience is unique. But with cloud scripting and visual scripting, it's the content is synchronized. At least the URL that's being showed is. Next one, can this only be used on the Quest VR display? What about other displays such as HoloLens or HTC Vive? Okay, so yeah, so right now it's available on the Quest for right now, and no explicit support yet for the others.
Let's see here. And someone asked, can you connect a mesh world while in VR and be transported to another VR world without getting out of VR mode? Very great question. So when you're using the Mesh app within Quest, you can enter into a Mesh event, and you'll have that experience within the environment. For example, the environment that you saw Samira use and customize today. And then you can leave the event and join another one, effectively transporting yourself into another world, some might argue. So thank you so much, everyone, for your time. I hope you all feel like your questions were answered and that you got some great information today. I encourage everyone to start your Mesh development journey. You can learn more at aka.ms/startmeshjourney. And we also appreciate your feedback and ideas. So Samir and I created a survey. Please take just a couple minutes to fill out the survey to help us improve, to help us determine more elements of our web content and Mesh roadmap at aka.ms/meshwebcontentfeedback. And of course, check out our partnering groups on meetup.com, ParisXR, Global XR Community, and Metaverse Playground. Thank you all so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Thank you.